Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Leah back again with another video. In today's video, as you can see from the title, is just makeup products that I've bought 2 times or more. Now, I did this video with natural hair products and crochet hair products that I've bought 2 times or more, but I decided let's do makeup products that I have bought multiple times. Now, just like in my last video, my natural hair products, buying it a couple of times doesn't necessarily mean it's my favorite. Some of these things I have moved on from, and I will talk about that throughout this video. But today's shirt, if you can't read it, it is the favorite quotes of one of my favorite YouTubers, Nappy Headed Jojoba. It is "Don't trust anybody with a Morphe code." She says that at the end of every single video, and I love that. So at the end of the video, I'll talk about brands that I need to support more of, that I don't have any products from, but I do need to support from, and then brands that I no longer support, I no longer buy products from, and why I don't buy products from them anymore. So let's just first hop into, I'll go in kind of the order that I apply makeup to. That's kind of the easier way for me to remember. And the first product is a product I probably own and have bought. It's probably the product I've bought the most times, quite honestly. It is the NYX eyebrow pencil. I have it in the color chocolate. I've bought this at least if I buy it like once every 3 months, and I've bought it for like, what, 5 years, I probably bought this at least 15 times. It's $9.99, so super, super affordable. I don't know what I will do if they ever take this eyebrow pencil away. I have a whole video where I do my eyebrow tutorial. Really hasn't changed from the probably last 10 years, if I'm being quite honest. But I love this pencil, and it's probably the product that I have bought the most of every product that I'll talk about today. The next product that I have bought multiple times, as you can see, I have at least 2 in my hand, so that means I at least have bought it twice, but I will probably say I've bought this product at least 8 times, and it is the Maybelline Great Lash Clear Brow Gel. I love this product. I love it so much. You guys know from my eyebrow tutorial, the issue with my brows isn't that I don't have hairs, my hairs are sparse. I do have very prominent hairs with my eyebrows, so I'm lucky in that sense. But the thing about having a lot of hairs is that they want to move and go any which way, go up, down, all that. So I really need a good brow gel to hold them things in place and kind of keep them, you know, contained for the longest period of time. And that is what this Maybelline Great Lash Brow Gel does for me. It keeps my brows kind of in a uniform like shape for, you know, a long period of time. I say I come home at the end of the day and they haven't really moved, whereas opposed to days where I don't use a brow gel, you know, sometimes there's some movement in my brows and I can definitely tell a difference. So again, a product that I have bought 8, 9, I mean, it's, the list goes on. This is probably in the double digits of how many times I've bought this. And just like the NYX brow pencil, it's a product that is this has to be under $6. Now, I don't necessarily apply concealer next, but I do use concealer to clean up my brows, and the concealer I only use for cleaning up my brows. I do not use this concealer as an under eye concealer. It's too thick for me. I use the MAC Studio Finish concealer, and I have it in the shade NC42. I have used this. I tried to think back as I was writing down my notes and seeing how many times I think I've bought this product. I will say I probably only have bought it maybe 5 times, just because it's a product I only use for cleaning up my brows. And again, I only use a little bit, so a little bit goes a long way. But when I think about how many years I've bought this product, I know I had it in college. I remember having it in college because I got mad because my boyfriend at the time had smushed in the MAC sign, so the MAC had broke at the top of this. So I at least have had this for at least 9 years, and then even longer than that. Again, only for cleaning up my brows. I think in college I did try to use it up under my eye, and it just kept being too thick, and I realized I need a kind of thinner product. And the next product, which I'll talk about, which is kind of skipping because I do apply this later in my process, but since we're talking about concealers, I'll talk about my favorite under eye concealer, which is this concealer. And it is the 24-Hour MAC Studio Fix 24-Hour Smooth Wear Concealer. It lets you know it has 24 hours. It says it right here, and it also says it kind of in the titling of it. Oops, it's upside down. You guys can't read it. It's 24-hour here, and it says 24-hour here. It's letting you know that 24-Hour MAC Studio Fix 24-Hour Smooth Wear Concealer, it has been my jammy jam. Now, it's probably something I've only bought, I'd say 4 times. 3 times in the right color. 1 time I got it in the wrong color, which when I first first got it. I got it in an NC42. It's just a little too brightening for me, so I got it in an NC44, and that's what I've bought multiple of. I still do try to use the NC42 when I want a super bright look, so I use NC42 mixed with a little bit of the NC44 today, just so I could use up this product. But again, this is the concealer that has been more recent of a love. I mean, this is kind of newer to them too. I'd say they've had it, or at least in this format and this look, probably for the last 3.5 years, 3 years max. And I've bought it kind of ever since it came out. I do love a little bit more of a liquidy concealer that, again, Studio Finish is just too hard. It works really good for under my brows though. This is my go-to concealer. Bought it at least 4 times, and I really do love it. Now, after I do my brows, I typically do my eye makeup. I don't typically have a favorite or eye product that I've bought multiple times when it comes to eyeshadows, because I buy palettes a lot of the time, and again, it takes a long time to get through a palette. But I do buy lashes, a lot of lashes. And my favorites, you guys should know from my favorites videos, are a combination of, I love and this is what I have on today, the Kiss So Wispy 09 lashes. Again, the lash that I have on today, which I love, $2.99 at my local beauty supply store, and I have to get this from a beauty supply store. It's not something I typically order online, just because the next lash, which used to be my favorites and I used to wear every single video prior to finding the 09s, which I still do wear sometimes, are the Kiss Beyond Natural 03 lashes. Love these lashes, but they changed the style. If you can see, one of them says new style on them, and if you can notice, it's a very slight difference. I noticed it when I first ordered the Beyond Naturals online, that the lashes look different, that I was like, okay, I have to go in stores now, because sometimes in stores I can find the old version, sometimes in stores I only see the new version. These are my 2 favorite lashes. Like, if you guys ask me what lash I have in a video, I might not be able to tell you exactly, but it's one of these 2. So just go in the store, get the 09s, get the 03s, see which one you prefer. It will only cost you what, like $6. I've bought these lashes. Lashes are something I buy a lot, so both I've probably bought 40 times each. I mean, maybe the 09s a little bit less, maybe 30 times, just because they're newer to me. I'd say I've been buying them for the last 1.5 years, but these were the OG original favorites. Now, when I'm filming a video, I definitely always have lashes in, because I have no lashes. But when I have normal day-to-day life, like I'm not going and filming a video, I'm just going in the office, nothing to look too fancy about, my favorite mascara has always been, and when I say always, I'd say at least for the last 7-8 years, the CoverGirl Super Sizer mascara that I've bought, more than 2 times, because I have it at least 3 times in my hand. I think it's a case of, you go into the store, you forget you have one at home, and then you buy it again, and you're like, girl, just remember, you got 3 at the house. You don't need no more mascaras. That is what has happened with me in this Super Sizer, but I love the Super Sizer mascara. Again, very affordable. It's not like I'm making this video to be tailored to drugstore. A lot of my products just happen to be drugstore. Like, a lot of people want me to name like a high-end, brow product, or high-end this, because I think they're kind of, not to say they're high-end snobs, but they have a feeling that if it's drugstore, it just doesn't work. And for me, that's not the case. I love drugstore products, and they really do work for me. And the Super Sizer is no different. It just really works for me. Now, backing up a step, when I was talking about lashes, I should have talked about the lash glue that I've bought at least a dozen times. It is that Duo Brush On Adhesive Brow Glue. When I originally first got into brows, I used the little tube, like the Duo tube, and I would squeeze that out. And for some reason, I mean, it worked. It worked for the time period I needed it to work in. But one of my friends, or my roommate at the time, was using this, and I was like, oh, this is so much simpler. I can just kind of brush it on, not have a big glob. Like, sometimes you have the globs on your lashes, and it just would just not work well. I have been using this, I'd say, religiously for the last 4 years. Buy it whenever I run out. Buy it sometimes. Again, it's one of those products when I'm in the store and I forget that I have one at home, I grab another one, and that's how sometimes I end up with multiple. So I have at least a couple on hand of this. You just got to make sure your lid's on tight so it doesn't dry out. But if you do that, you're good to go, and it does last quite some time. It does say it has vitamins in it. I never am able to tell these vitamin or claims or anything, but I can say my eye has never been irritated with this glue. Now, the next thing, probably a rebuy for the last 9-10 years, is the MAC Face and Body Foundation. If you guys have been following my channel, you guys know this has made every favorites video that I've ever made. I, have it in the small version, which is empty. So this was going back into my bag. I always keep a bag of MAC empties because, they have the buyback program where you can buy a lipstick. I have at least 4 lipsticks from MAC that I've never, spent money on, that I've always gotten because of returning of things. Now that I don't buy as much MAC as I used to, it takes a little bit longer to get enough to take back, but I know I will always have at least a face and body kind of in my camp that I go through. I mean, it's a big bottle too. I've been using this for what? I don't know, a couple months now, and it still feels like it's never going on empty because a little bit of this goes a long way. A lot of people have asked me, can I put this on my body to hide tattoos? No, it's not that full coverage. It's a very light coverage foundation, which is something I like. I like a light coverage foundation. I have this foundation on today, and yeah, it may look like a little bit made up, but I feel like if you saw me in person, it's not full coverage. It's very light. It's very airy. I do look like I have makeup on because the lashes, the lips, everything kind of brings a makeup-y look to me, but I will have to say the face and body is just a lightweight on your face foundation for the summer months. It really feels good and it doesn't feel like, cake face going on. And same thing I will say for my other favorite face and body foundation, which is the Dior face and body. It's the same title, same name. Dior said, "What, MAC, y'all got a face and body? We gonna have a face and body too." I'm in the shade 45N in this foundation, C6 in the other face and body foundation. I've bought this multiple times. So next, moving on to another foundation. I love the Hourglass Vanish Stick foundation. And again, if you watch my review video on the Hourglass Vanish Stick, I wasn't like super impressed. I wasn't like feeling it. Like I was like, okay, y'all, this is okay foundation. In my review, I think I tucked it away for like 4 or 5 months after my review because I was like, whatever, this foundation does not work. And then I reached for it just happenstance. Like I went through a phase where I was retrying a lot of my foundations, retried this, and I was like, where you been? So much so that I bought another one, and I think I have a third one that's in my travel one. This really worked well for my travel. The thing about the face and body is that it's very liquidy. So when I'm at home, there's no problem for me to mix both together and kind of make a concoction and put it on my face. When I'm on the road, I just really don't want to make a concoction. It's too globby. It's too much of a mess everywhere. I want something that's really easy and, free on the go. And that's what this is. It's very freeing to just kind of swipe on my face and then kind of blot and blend in. And that's why I kind of think I re-emerged and I really started to love the Hourglasses because it's very convenient. And if you've ever traveled anywhere, you don't want a mess. You don't want a whole counter full of things. It's really easy and compact to have this Vanish Stick foundation. So to blend in the foundation though, ooh, this was a holy grail product. I literally buy this anytime I'm in the store, like anytime I see it because it's so sold out all the time. I have this at least 4 times, like in a box in my home. Like this sponge, I gave up on Beauty Blender a long time ago. Beauty Blender will never get $16 from me. They might as well go ahead and go out of business because there's nothing worth that price anymore. When people started realizing, hey, this is a sponge. This is just a sponge. We get sponges to clean our household items for like a 10-pack from the dollar store for like $1. Sponge making ain't that complicated. And so I think Sonia Kashuk made a cheap sponge, which I really did like for quite some time. But then something told me, Elf probably got it too. And this Elf Total Face Sponge, run and get this. Like, I hope I'm putting up this video as I go and buy a couple more because, again, this is a sponge that is always sold out. Like, every time I'm in Target, you guys know if you follow my vlogs, I go, like, shopping every 2 weeks for grocery shopping. And I always run into Target as well and see if they got a sponge. If they don't, I'll be like, well, I got enough at home, girl. It's just such a good sponge. It's so affordable. It feels so good wet. It applies your makeup so seamlessly. It's under, $6 for a sponge? Like, y'all, if y'all still buying beauty blenders in 2020, stop. Please stop. I know it's probably the name beauty blender. I have to have it. It's so good. Stop buying it. I'm trying to save you some coin. I know that was the rage and everybody was telling you to do that in 2014, 2015, and 2016. We're past that point. Sponges are affordable. You do not need to spend $20 on a face sponge. Now, the next product, the product that you guys always ask what's on my lips, and I have to say without question, I always know it's that Anastasia Sepia lipstick, the liquid lipstick. I know Anastasia has this in lip gloss form, and I've bought it before, just not the same in lipstick. Gotta buy it in the liquid lipstick form. That's what I have on my lips now. That's what I have in pretty much every video that I've ever recorded in life on my lips. Quite honestly, is this Anastasia Sepia. I have like tons of liquid lipsticks, but this is a liquid lipstick that I have on in pretty much every video simply because it's consistent. For me, I like consistency, and I like to be able to tell you guys, if you ask me in a video that I filmed in 2017, what lipstick is that? You guys won't even imagine how many comments I get on videos from 4 years ago asking what product is on my lips, and it's like, well, when you wear the same thing over and over again, the answer is always simple. It's this, and I just love it. It's a perfect fall lip, but I do wear this year round, so there's that. And I do not regret buying it over and over again. It's such a good liquid lipstick. It's not drying, and that's what I do love. And last but not least, it's that Urban Decay All Nighter Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. I've bought this, I don't know, 8-9 times. I love this setting spray. It just finishes my makeup really well. It kind of gives me that feeling after I spray it too, that this makeup isn't going anywhere. And quite frankly, I feel like it's true. I feel like it's not really going anywhere. So this is a product that I've bought several times. I used to buy the Fix Plus all the time by MAC. I have the travel size here. I do still buy the travel size, and I keep one in my travel makeup bag because I don't know. Urban Decay All Nighter probably has a travel size of this, but I've always been kind of loyal to the lock that this has on it, and I just kind of like this for travel. So I do have this, and I do buy this, and I did buy this back in the day multiple times, but I do just kind of like the Urban Decay because I feel like even when it's at the end, it still gives an even spray. When this gets to the end, it's all splotchy. You know when you get in and running low on your Fix Plus. Now moving on to talk about brands that I will need to buy going forward, and brands that I'm not going to buy going forward. Now, if you guys aren't aware, there has been this pull up or shut up challenge on Instagram where brands are communicating how many Black people they basically have working at their company, which started with just being makeup related, then it turned into hair, and now it's turned into actual businesses. Google's, Nordstrom's, kind of real brick and mortar companies have started, but originally it was just makeup. So I took note. I started following that page pretty early when this pull up and shut up challenge started. So I will talk about brands I want to support going forward because their numbers were so good. Now, the industry standard for how many African Americans are at a company is typically 8%. The Black population, or the African American population, I'll say Black population, the Black population in the US, we only make up 12% of the population, which I thought was kind of startling. But then again, we're a minority. Of course, there are white people, there are more Hispanic people than us here in the country. So again, 12% of us, I would hope, industry standard is 8% of us working at companies. I would want it to be pushed a little bit further to being reflective of the country itself at that 12% number. But again, I'm never asking a company to be, 60% Black when, of course, that isn't reflective. I don't think companies need to be all Black, but I do think that your company should reflect what the country looks like, if that makes sense. So companies that really pulled up at this challenge that I have no products of, but I was like, okay, you pulled up so hard, I might need to give you a chance. Natasha Denona, which is not a Black owned company, but they pulled up and they had 34% Black people at the company. Now, Natasha Denona is a very expensive company, but I've loved their I like eyeshadow palettes that I've never been able to afford. I could afford them, but it'd be a splurge. So I was like, maybe one of them cheaper, because I think they have a little bit of a cheaper price point now at like $45, which is still expensive. But I was like, I need to keep my eye on Natasha Denona. 34% Black is higher than, even industry standard, even more so than we take up, or we're not even 34% of the country. So the fact you have 34%, I appreciate that. Now, Mented, of course, Black owned, 100% Black employees pulled up, which, I have to get some Mented products. I do feel like they have an eyebrow pencil, which I was like, it's thin. It's very thin. They have a very thin eyebrow pencil. May I give up on that NYX pencil? Maybe. We'll see. Beauty Bakery, which is Black owned, 75% employee base, which amazing. And then Colored Rain, 100%. I do own some Colored Rain products, so that is one company that I can move to I do have their products. I just haven't bought it multiple times, but I will. Colored Rain, I do have some of their liquid lipsticks, and I do like them. And Black Opal, it is 70% Black. So these are companies that going forward I'm going to start buying. I do have so much makeup though that I'm like, I gotta wait to the next, like, you know, I'm running low on this, let me switch out this for that. But I got a lot of multiples and duplicates, as you can tell from this video. So again, those are brands that I want to support going forward. Brands I'm not going to support going forward. BH Cosmetics, which BH Cosmetics wasn't a brand I had a lot from. I think I had one BH Cosmetics palette, that Carly Bible palette I think you've seen me talk about before. Had that, love that for years, but I don't really have a lot of BH Cosmetics stuff. They pulled up when they really shouldn't have pulled up. They pulled up to let us know they have no black employees. Zero black employees. Not a black soul. They don't even have one token black person at BH Cosmetics. How is that even possible? Like, not even a, like, sometimes people, you know, hire a black person just for the sake of it, but I applaud them for not even hiring a token black. They just said no black people. I would have just kept that to myself, because at this point, I don't want any more BH Cosmetics things. Again, wasn't a big BH Cosmetics fan beforehand, but this solidified that I'm not buying any more BH Cosmetics. And then Morphe. I have not bought from Morphe in about a year and a half. Maybe it was a little bit before my sister's prom last year, so we're in August. And that was like March of 2019. So that's probably the last time I actually bought from Morphe. Again, big on palettes. Used to be the king of palettes. Used to be the king of brushes. And I bought a lot from them. They actually opened a store here in Charlotte. I never went to that store, but I was kind of excited when I first heard they announced that they were opening a store. But they pulled up. They have 3% black people working there, which again is lower than that industry standard. And when I say that industry standard, we should of course have more than 8% of us here, but that's just taking into account every company and just what their industry standard is. 8% is industry standard. 12% is how much of the population we encompass. So close, it was like 12.2, so closer to maybe 13% is how many black people are in this country. So it's really confusing that you only have 3%, but again, not shocking. And again, Morphe has just been really shady with their relationship with Jeffree Star, who I 100% believe has stock into Morphe. Again, nappy-headed jojoba has been saying this for years and years. She even put it on a shirt. She even put it on a shirt that Morphe should not be trusted. And I'm finally like, you know what? I haven't bought from them from a year and a half, so it will be nothing for me to cut them off. And it really has been nothing for me to cut them off as a brand. So Morphe, sorry, unfortunately, I have enough brushes at this point. Elf got you beat with the brushes, just everything. Those have been the products that I've bought multiple times. Those have been the brands that I am no longer supporting, and those have been the brands that I need to start checking out. You guys list down below if there's some brands that you need me to check out or you want me to check out, and I'll let you know if they pulled up, what their stats are, if they pulled up, and why I may or may not try them going forward. But you guys let me know down below. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. Even if you didn't enjoy it, we want all the love and support over here on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of this great content that I produce for you guys. And make sure that you guys are following me on Instagram at Lia Lavon 89 so you can keep up with my shenanigans in real time. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. And I'ma give you anything you want. And I'ma give you anything you need. Bad man.